Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey, I'm Bianca.
And in this video, we're answering the #1 question that every club in the world gets over and over and over again. Do I have to play?
So keep watching.
We just love filming in this room.
We do.
Yeah, we decided to do another video in this one. The last one we filmed in the Naughty Nordic room. This is the brand new room at Club Sapphire, and it's just really cool.
Well, I think because it's summertime now and it's hot outside, this room makes me feel like it might be cooler. I don't know why. Like, because there should be snow or something.
Snow, the sexy Vikings and things. Sure, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
so...
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll film a lot more here. This is fun. This room is amazing. I love it. I love it. So what did you want to talk about today?
Today we're going to answer a question that comes up quite a bit.
It's actually the most common question that the club gets, and I have to believe that probably every club and every lifestyle event in the world gets.
Right.
Which is, do you have to play? And in fact, you know, it's interesting because we have a few different channels on YouTube, and like we just got another one about an event that we're hosting somewhere else, and one of the people that wanted to come to the event, that first question he asked me is, what are the expectations? Mm-hmm. Like, are people expected to play if you come to this event? And it was interesting that I got that question because they've been in lifestyle a little while, but it was still one of those things where some people just expect, oh, if you come to this, you have to play.
Right.
And we've said it a million times on this channel. No is the answer to that question.
Right.
But it's still one of those things that people just feel that it's kind of a must, or maybe it's that they feel that they're going to get pressured by someone or a couple, or they talk about it beforehand and say, hey, this is the first time that we're going to be at the club. Let's not play with others. We're only going to play with each other. But what happens if we run into somebody that's really, really hot? Like, what do we do about that?
Right.
And what do we do about that?
Well, I've always been someone who says if you make a rule before you get to the club, you stick to that rule. Doesn't matter how cute or sexy that couple is, you stick to that rule because you made that rule for a reason, right? And that's my whole thing. That's how I feel about rules. I personally don't want to deal with the aftermath of breaking a rule. If you guys decide to break a rule and then someone gets their feelings hurt, or you move too fast, that's not something I personally want to deal with. I don't want to deal with the things that can happen, but I will take that and say, yes, they are really cute. I'm glad they want to play with us. Let's see if maybe they want to meet up another time. Let's see if we can, be honest with them, and that's so important. Everybody in the lifestyle wants honesty. So if you say, hey, we really are attracted to you, we would love to play with you, but because this is our first time here, we kind of had a rule that we were going to just kind of like sit it out and see. Maybe you could do a soft swap, or just like have sex near that other couple, see if they'd be into that. Hey, what if we go into the back and just have sex on separate beds, but we're just near each other, and
so we can see each other,
see how that feels, if that's an option. Or say, hey, we'd really love to play with you, but we made this rule of that we're not playing tonight, but can we maybe explore that next week? Can we come back next week and meet up with you? That is better than dealing with the things that can happen if you choose to break your rules that you created. Dealing with the aftermath of hurt feelings and that kind of stuff. I think it's so important. We talk about this all the time, that you need to protect your relationship with your partner. That is the main thing. Is that relationship more important than anything? More important than anything. And going in, having this conversation, creating these rules, and then the first time out of the gate, going and breaking a rule that you guys created, it's just not a smart idea in my opinion. Exactly. And when people say, do we have to play, when they come to this event, Sapphire, of course they don't, and other clubs they don't. But I mean, I have heard of situations, I have heard of parties, for example, that if someone's having a house party, for example, and there's only going to be 6 people or 8 people, a small group,
then there might be much more of an expectation to play.
Right.
And generally in those situations, we try to be like, maybe you're too new for that.
Yeah.
Like, if someone actually asked us that question and they were like, we're brand new. We put our profiles up, whether it's in the back of Club or in the members area of Club Sapphire's webpage or just any website anywhere. And we said, hey, we're brand new. And some other couple said, ooh, you should come to our house party. The first question is about probably how many people are going to be there would be the question I would have, because if it is a small number like that, it would be really awkward to be. There are 10 of us and 8 of us are playing and the other 2 are just kind of standing in the corner going, what did we get ourselves into?
Right.
Where if it were a party with 50 people and we go to those, a house party or whatever it might be, then there's never that expectation. And
we've avoided small parties for many, many years. Because of that, we didn't want to have that awkwardness.
Well, that depends on the type of party.
Right,
if it was a party of people that we knew and we've played with or we wanted to play with or whatever, then we're going to be like, yes, I want to go to that, because we would have the expectation of play, and we'd go there with the concept before we get there. Hey, we're going to have sex tonight.
Yeah.
When you're brand new, you shouldn't have that expectation. Your expectation should be, we just want to see how this works. We want to tiptoe in. I know couples that go full on. They go right in the deep end. Nothing wrong with that if it works out okay, but it can also be very problematic because this is very just unusual what we do.
And I don't think, though, if you were this person who just got invited, brand new, just got invited to this small party, I think it would be okay and appropriate to, when they message you to invite you, to message back and say, I'm interested, we're new, would you be okay with us just coming and not necessarily participating? You could put that out there, and some people may say, oh, we're looking for full participation parties. Some people would be like, yeah, that's fine, but then you can decide how comfortable are you really sitting on the sidelines, if that's what you decide as a couple.
Yeah, because there will be events that is absolutely the case.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're generally the smaller events. We'll go to house parties occasionally that might have 40, 50 people at them, and that by the end of the evening, I would say almost everybody is playing or has played maybe a few times during the evening. But if someone decided not to and they were just going to hang out, or if it was, for example, a woman's time of the month and she's just like, no, I'm off limits right now, I'm just not going to do anything because she's not feeling it, or a million other reasons, that I wouldn't even notice as a guest of that if someone was just having fun and having conversations. And that's the same as at the club. We come here probably more often than not. When we come to the club, we don't play, because that's not our goal. Our goal is to just have fun and talk to people and see friends that we know and love, and meet new friends and make new friends, and then what happens, and if we end up playing that night, great. If we don't, also great. If we make a connection with someone that we can look forward to seeing again, even better, etc., and that's the type of stuff that we like to say is more important than anything, because that's what makes a lifestyle special.
Well, one of the things that I think the club does a really good job of is saying that we're not a sex club, we're a social club. And so you come here to socialize, and if you make a connection, there's a spot for you in the back. It's not, you don't have to go to the back. We come here sometimes, like Matt said, and we never even come into the back because we're just enjoying ourselves out front, dancing, meeting new people, that kind of stuff. So, and no one's going to notice whether you go to the back or not. You're not going to get a stamp if you go into the back, and people aren't going to look at it and make sure, okay, did they go in the back? No.
That'd be cool, though.
How many stamps did you collect through the night?
Right? Oh, totally.
They're like, I'll have them stamped all over.
I want to do that. New party night, stamp. Like, okay.
Call it your tramp stamp.
Yeah, right. I earned 15 tramp stamps. I love that. The banter makes this great. We come up with all these amazing ideas just like that.
Right.
It's tramp stamp night at Club Sapphire. Oh yeah, how many could collect? Cool.
Yeah. So, as long as you are really aware that, like we said, there's no expectations whatsoever, and just be aware of your rules and what you're comfortable with, and just talk to your partner a lot. We'll always say, I will never stop saying that. Open, honest communication.
Has there ever been a time that you have felt like you were kind of forced to play?
I
any
mean,
situation.
I'm sure. Not that it was forced,
Force
but
is a
that
strong
I was,
word,
you know, kind of. I hate to use the words like take one for the team because it's not what I mean, but it's like, you know, everybody else is doing it, and it's not like I'm not like, I have to.
I have to have a penis.
But you
in
know,
me.
sometimes I may not really be in the mood, and I'll just, all right, fine. You know, if I do it, I'll be in the mood. You know, or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I'm sure I have. I can't say for sure yes.
Right.
But you know, there are situations where you know you just kind of you just go with the flow.
Right.
And yeah, but I don't have any situations that I can think of that have made me be like, oh yeah, there was that one time. Like none of them have been.
And I think that's probably because I learned early on when we first started. We've been doing this in lifestyle 10, 11 years, and early on I was like a kid in a candy store where it was just like, I want to have sex with all the vaginas. Like, oh, there's one over there. Oh, there's one over there. And then it, you know, just because we had been married for a long time, and I had been with one vagina for so long. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course, but it was very exciting to have sex with a lot of different women. And I remember that was, you know, that was a focus. It was quantity for me personally early on, just because I could. And then it, you know, it kind of evolved over the years into it really isn't about that at all. It's about having the really good connections. But I would tend to think that there probably would have been times where it was kind of like I would have been very disappointed if we didn't play, and probably again early on, which is what a lot of people watch these videos.
You don't think you feel that now?
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all. It's interesting. No, okay. I won't say not at all. I'm sure there are times where I'm like, oh my God, like I just met this woman and we have this amazing connection, and I just want to, and clearly she wants to too. But we're not doing this tonight for a million reasons. Okay, it might be disappointing, but not to the point of like, my whole night's ruined, fucking da 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 da. Like, I don't feel that at all. I don't feel that at all, because who knows what tomorrow may bring. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of fish in the sea, even if I never see that person again. And that's okay. That's okay. And having that kind of attitude of whatever happens, I have personally found to be the best attitude to have, because early on, I don't know if we wouldn't necessarily get in fights, but it would still be, there were those times where we were definitely just in disagreement of, are we going to play? Are we not going to play? Are we, you know, do we need to play? And I
think it's because we were at such different speeds. You were gung-ho, ready to go every day, every second. I was much slower to warm up to people and to feel comfortable and confident. But because I'm still like that and you're still like that, we've found a way for our style to work for us. And we only found that through a lot of communication and getting comfortable with everything and getting comfortable in the club, you know, different, you know, just experiencing things and talking about everything and how we feel about everything. And I think that's, you know, the reason why we've had such good success and why we've been able to have our hobby grow the way it has.
Yeah, and it's you know, you talk about communication, but it's really one of those things that, you know, we mention it a lot, but we also feel very strongly that even in those situations where one party is very, very gung-ho and the other one just isn't feeling it for whatever reason, that you kind of, it's important to go with the more conservative of the two, because you could get in a fight if you don't, which is bad, and that can cause resentment that can last. You don't want that at all. Well,
and that could definitely make you step several steps backwards in the lifestyle. You know, you don't want that. So I mean, there are still times I think where, you know, when we're driving to the club, if I'm really feeling like I just want some us time, I'll say that, like, you know, I'd really rather neither one of us played tonight. I just need some you. Like, I just need to be with you, and for whatever reason, whatever emotions I'm feeling, that's what I need. And I don't think you've ever complained about that.
No, because I learned that it's important. I think like, again, early on, I might have had, I don't know if resentment's, that's a very strong word, but I might have been a lot of disappointment. But it was also one of those things where early on we weren't necessarily surrounded by this universe as often. So like the people that, you know, come once a year to a club, or they only go to a resort somewhere once a year, and that's the only time they ever play with anybody at all. that's the type of thing where I can see somebody going, okay, we only have this one night a year where we're going to play, so we better play. I can understand that. I can understand that could be a trickier situation to be in. Which just the answer to that is come to the club more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I solved that one.
Yep.
Come to Club Sapphire as often as you possibly can. And the way to do that is by going to www.clubsapphire.net. Check out all the amazing events that are coming up. Numerous nights a week now, and they're getting big again. I know they just had a car show recently here in the parking lot. That was phenomenal. A lot of members here have really cool cars. And they had a glow night that had, I think, almost 300 people at, which is phenomenal for this time of year. You know, and things still are. Some people are still nervous about coming back, or they're traveling because it's summertime. So that is great. Like, people are just raring to go, and so you should join us here.
Absolutely,
that would be great. We love that. So, all right. Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.